What were you doing in the year 2007? I was busy learning to tell time and multiply in second grade. At this time, Obama announced his candidacy for president, Steve Jobs had a big announcement of his own, and Meet the Robinsons had just bombed at the box office.
Memes have been around for just a little under a decade, but they've already numbered in the millions. Most of them were uploaded to social media sites like Flickr and Reddit. Others were sent on the AOL Messenger AIM. You may remember this site featuring a small yellow running man. He still remains a meme to this very day. Memes have changed so much since just 2007, so let's revisit where we've come from.
We've already covered the history of memes and their first era known as the experimental. Memes are now in the middle of the classic era. This is where the majority of memes on the internet were first thought of and created. Classic memes are pretty simple. They're usually easy to understand, about a popular topic, and derive from everyday experiences. The format of these memes was also very straightforward. You would start with a base image that shows the reaction you'd like the viewer to have. The preset selection of meme images is too vast to truly quantify, so every possible feeling has more than a few meme variants. The next step is to add text. That can be done by simply adding one line to describe the experience/idea or deliver the punchline. Or you could have two lines, one at the top and the bottom. The top text introduces the idea, and the bottom either solidifies or subverts it to become a meme. Most memes following the two-text format had specific names and feelings already associated with them, so you'd have to be careful not to mix up the meanings, which would result in an unfunny meme. Other forms of early meme also exist, like the rage comic, but these are a little more complicated and even today can be hard to decipher. These memes could be found on early social media sites like Reddit, 4chan, and Flickr. These sites were great for memes and pictures, but videos weren't as popular here. Luckily, a recently launched video posting website would not only change the foundation of memes and their creation, but it would change the face of the world.
By 2007, YouTube had been around for about 2 years and was already flooded with videos. It was also this year that the Queen of England started her YouTube channel. F in the chat. Rip to a legend. While YouTube was destined to take over, it was not the primary source of meme videos. Sure, people were uploading non-stop, but it was all nonsense. To find the true origins of memes on the internet, you must first look to Newgrounds.
Newgrounds is a massive, audience-run multimedia website, one of the first and best of its kind. People from all over the world are able to upload their own artwork, audio, videos, and even flash games. Newgrounds exists in a time period referred to as a distinct time in gaming history. It's a place where many animators and developers showcased their skills and gained a following long before social media was around. It became a haven for fostering the greats of internet animation. Egoraptor and the Awesome series, Super Mario Bros. Z, Salad Fingers, Super Nintendo, Hellbenders, Animator vs. Animation, and The Ultimate Showdown. These are just a few of Newgrounds' best and most popular videos. With YouTube being relatively new, Newgrounds was the only place you could find these videos, and is how many of today's popular internet celebrities got their start. What made Newgrounds truly special was the Flash games. One of the first and best Flash games on the site was called Pico's School, developed by Tom Fulp, the creator of Newgrounds. It was inspired by the Columbine shooting. You play as Pico, who has to fight a group of stereotypical goth kids who have killed all his classmates. At the time of its release, it was one of the most sophisticated browser games, exhibiting a complexity of design and polish and presentation virtually unseen in amateur Flash game development. It has been widely credited with kickstarting the Flash game scene and helping launch Newgrounds as a true viral force. The Madness series by Crinkles became a staple with its wildly violent gameplay and classic character design. Dad and Me was another smash hit. It was a side-scrolling beat-em-up that allowed you to go to town on a bunch of kids. It was developed by a group called the Behemoth, who would soon go on to release Castle Crashers, which was insanely popular. Another classic was Fancy Pants, a parkour platformer featuring a stickman with great hair and fancy pants. These games became so popular that they also made a fighting game featuring the characters from other Newgrounds games called Newgrounds Rumble. With so much content already on Newgrounds, what more did YouTube have to offer that made it so much more popular?
YouTube was much more simple than Newgrounds. Not everyone can learn animation or game design, but anyone can upload a video. And this idea that any person can upload any video to the internet was quite a popular one. By 2007, YouTube was home to dozens of memes that remain just as relevant today as they did back then. Memes from nowadays fade with a couple months of time, and they're forgotten. Memes from early YouTube remain preserved in history. Perfect, like marble.
2005 saw the release of Cooking by the Book, Flying Spaghetti Monster, Chuck Norris, Gay Bowser, They're Taking the Hobbits to Isengard, and one of my favorites.
Alright, chums up. Ready, guys? Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins!
2006 would see Downfall, It's Over 9,000, Not the Bees, Tunuk Tunuk Tun, and one of the internet's greatest feats, lolcats. Cat videos alone are the very foundation that YouTube is built upon. In 2007, the most important cat video of all came out, Keyboard Cat. The idea to take cats and put them in a funny situation was too good for the world to pass up. Cat videos brought the world together in a way no person ever could. Everybody knows what a cat is, and either through the mutual love of cats or mutual hatred of cats, which some could say is even stronger, we would post non-stop cat videos all across the world. And that's what memes are truly about. Other videos from 2007 are Chocolate Rain, Charlie Bit My Finger, Bully McGuire, Prank That Soulja Boy, Dramatic Chipmunk, I'm a Gummy Bear, Michael Rosen, This Is Sparta, and naturally, all these countless and classic videos were inspired by the same idea behind picture memes. Keep it simple, keep it funny. These videos would get spread the same way the pictures do. Social media, emails, and mostly word of mouth. But 2007 would introduce a brand new medium for memes so devastating to our timeline that we haven't recovered since.
iPhone. Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone.
The first iPhone was released on June 29th, 2007. Never before had something like this existed. A device that allowed you to listen to all your music, talk on the phone, use the internet, and it's powered by magic? This is a far more futuristic and revolutionary device than 2007 was ready for.
With us live right now, all this is powered by is a broadband connection like DSL or a cable broadband connection. It's taken 25 years to get this right.
Go in here, and I'm tied to my satellite receiver watching TV wirelessly.
They've got little earpieces in here. It's an MP3 player.
First time we've seen one of these screens on a portable device, and boy, the quality is so much better than LCD. It looks so good.
I remember the first iPhone because of my dad and school. My dad bought one immediately because he thought it was cool. Everyone's kids' parents bought one immediately because they thought it was cool. And all their stupid kids were talking about it because they thought it was cool. Seems like we're setting ourselves up for something devastating here. Surely this mass migration towards touchscreen technology isn't a harrowing harbinger of our inevitable collapse as a society, right? No, I'm fucking stupid. While us kids marveled at the device, we knew we couldn't have a cell phone for a couple more years, let alone a new magic one. But kids like to complain until they get what they want. So what happens when the kids of the entire world complain?
Close to 2 million phones were sold in 2007, with that number jumping up to nearly 12 million the next year. There were plenty of skeptics, but they couldn't be heard over the crowd of people excited about just how cool it looks.
We think there are going to be several 100,000 people lined up Friday night and Saturday morning just to have the first one, just for that cool factor.
At launch, the iPhone truly could just do the things it said. There weren't many hidden features or advanced tools. It would take until July 10th, 2008 for Apple to release the App Store, which is where things got crazy. Right out the gate, it was obvious what type of apps the iPhone would be capable of running and how they would be shown off to all their users. Sports apps, financial matters, news stations, games, travel guides, recipe books. But what if you were a developer at the time? What if you already had a website and just now had to make it smaller for the iPhone? Companies like Facebook, Pinterest, Reddit, and an old favorite, Twitter, launched mobile versions of their websites as soon as possible. It was clear what type of site Twitter would become immediately upon release. One of the first big moments the app had was the race between Ashton Kutcher and CNN for who could be the first to gain more than 1 million followers. Kutcher, of course, claiming the dub. But what if you use these new sites for more official reasons? In the 2008 US presidential election, Barack Obama dominated his opponent John McCain in the social media sphere, amassing almost 4 times as many MySpace friends and more than 20 times as many Twitter followers. This development ensured that future candidates would need a strong social networking presence as part of their media strategies. Twitter would go on to empower some of the most dangerous people alive and change the landscape of the earth. But we'll come back to that. What did this all mean for memes? Well, memes come from the bottom up, so they start with younger generations, and the iPhone and the App Store isn't really for them, at least not yet. The kids and teens of the time had their sights set on a different section of the online world, gaming.
I still keep the social life that I have. I have all the same friends. They all play different online games, and we always talk about them all the time.
Yeah.
And, action.
Phones were expensive and business-oriented. They didn't yet suit the needs of parents to get their kids to shut up for a few hours. Luckily, companies Microsoft and Sony each had solutions of their own by making the exact same video game console. The Xbox 360 launched 2005 and the PS3 2006. Now you can ask literally anyone and they'll tell you that generation of gaming was undoubtedly the best. I think there's some merit to that, but I also think it's due to the fact that that was the first time people had seen that sort of thing, let alone children. Video games were so cool so quickly, it had a similar effect on kids and teens that the iPhone did on adults. And since the iPhone came with an internet feature, gaming was quick to follow. And online multiplayer absolutely changed the game, if you can even understand that level of comedy. And soon, it would revolutionize the memes of our time.
One of the first and still best online games was World of Warcraft, which dropped in 2004. The appeal to go on seemingly endless quests with your friends is an easy concept to get behind, but to actually play the game, you had to have a PC or Mac, which were pretty expensive and still for adults. So if you had a console, you'd be more likely to play Choo Choo Rocket, or maybe you were more interested in something like Halo. Totally changed what type of games became popular, which was games where you have to murder as many people as you can as fast as possible. The controls were intuitive, the gameplay was wild, the party system was straightforward, and was all made to be easy to jump into games with your friends as soon as possible. What really sent shooters to the top though was what Halo inspired other studios to do. The next big shooter franchise would finally bring their game setting to the modern world, and they just stopped naming it there. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare launched in 2007 and came right to consoles. Immediately, this was the game to have. Everybody was playing it. The world, the maps, the modes, the guns, the graphics, the gameplay, the killstreaks, the perks, it was all there. And unlike movies, this sequel would kick the original's ass.
You are no king of mine.
Memes about gaming just took off following the release. People would show their friends sick clips they got, look up kill compilations on the brand new YouTube, teabagging was hilarious as always. Gaming began to totally shift the meme paradigm. the best place to see it all happen was another brand new social media website called Tumblr. With a hip new game and a hip new website to post memes about it, this meme shift accelerated fast and it began spreading to other companies. One of them, of course, being Apple again. With kids now glued to the screens of their TVs for gaming, and the massive success of the iPhone, Apple took their new product and rebranded it a bit to fit this new tech-obsessed and younger demographic. This resulted in the iPod Touch. The iPod Touch would reach further than the iPhone ever could. Some people already had other models of the iPod and saw this as the logical upgrade. Kids who hounded their parents for an iPhone now have a cheaper alternative. What's the harm? It's just an iPod, it's just for music. And for a brief time, it was. All the iPods were ever made for was listening to music. But once you give your device access to the internet, it's almost like bestowing consciousness. The iPod Touch was a massive success. By 2010, they were on the 4th generation, and most people will tell you that that was the model they got involved with. No previous generation of people had such easy and unrestricted access to the internet. Now it was in the palm of our kids' hands, and the tech companies knew it. In 2010, both Pinterest and Instagram launched. 2011 would see Snapchat, Google+, Quora, and Twitch. While the circulation of memes is inevitable through all platforms, there wasn't one that was made solely for memes. Yet.
With the launch of iFunny, we were truly heading in a bad direction. Checking the featured section became a necessary part of the day, and it was through here that nearly all memes would begin to funnel. Game clips, classic memes, rage comics, YouTube videos, all these new and exciting memes would give iFunny total control over a stupid teenager's mind. Despite what was happening around you or around the world at the time, iFunny would always be there with something funny to say about it. And if it couldn't be funny, well, then it would just be racist.
The memes there were the most liked and best reviewed on the app. To be featured was to be revered. This section was where the best and most important memes came from. Some would follow a classic era format, relying on a known punchline. Newfound images would be converted into new classic memes. Many of these remain immortal and renowned across the world to this very day. However, more than classic memes were contained within this app. With new technology like video games on such a rapid incline, gaming memes became very mainstream. Gamers like loud noises, quick action, funny reactions, and lots of colors. These were the baseline qualities that started an entirely new era of meme culture. This was the MLG era.
Oh, baby,
The MLG era stood for Major League Gaming, and I'll tell you, it was a wild time to be a teenager. People would use famous MLG phrases in basic conversation like, "Wow, ooh baby a triple," and "Mom, get the camera." And many would just make the air horn noise with their mouth all the time. This era was very easy to capitalize on. Kids are very impressionable after all. Companies like Doritos and Mountain Dew would use those noises and trends in their ads and show gamers chowing down on some nacho cheese and chugging some dew. Easily two of the unhealthiest snacks in the world were now coercing a young audience to buy and eat them while they waste away gaming.
Now, I'm gonna tell you what you gotta do. Drink Mountain Dew.
One of the best apps to see MLG shine was a brand new video app called Vine. Oddly enough, it was purchased by Twitter before it even launched. Vine was a video exclusive app where the concept is everyone is only allowed 6 seconds of video, not much longer than an ad on YouTube. You just had that long to make an interesting, entertaining video. Vine soared to the top of the charts and got everyone involved. The fact that it was so quick to watch videos encouraged many people to make them as well. This made everyone want to become a Vine star. People would quit jobs and move towns for Vine. They'd buy fancy cars and expensive houses just to flex for a mere 6 seconds. It was possible to escape the fame rabbit hole that Vine forced you in, but only a very select few have pulled it off. The most famous Vine star now is Logan Paul. But who wants to be like that guy?
My name is Logan Paul. I'm single and ready to mingle. I'm up near the cockpit in case anyone...
This obsession with fast fame by making such short videos was of course appealing to everyone, but clearly a detriment to us all. People became disconnected from what was good and smart in favor of easy and funny. People got harder to talk to because of this. Some people fell into a pit of cringe, rendering them useless and weird. Other people became self-absorbed and disconnected outside of their friend group. While online, we all share the same memes and thoughts, but in person, those attitudes seem much more like a cry for help. With things already looking so bleak for this generation, surely the future would hold new and great opportunities to get us out of this strange technological funk. Well, I'm sorry to say the future does nothing but get worse. Considering you're here now, watching this video, means you know it got worse, and want to understand why. And well, believe me, so do I. What happened to memes and the internet? And why are we so caught off guard in between them? Are memes really the future? Are memes really gonna be our way of life? Could you really call memes the backbone of our society? There's a cat. You can cut now.